Hi, hello, and welcome to Part 2, The Sequel Continued, a podcast where we watch movies with some friends, discuss them, and then think up a sequel that no one asked for. I am your weekly roommate, Xavier, and I know what you're thinking. Last week I promised a normal episode this week, but usually Roger does the intros. Roger's currently focusing on another project that he's actually getting paid for, and just life in general. So he's taking a little bit of a hiatus, but again, we didn't want to leave you guys hanging this week, so today I'm joined with Ethan yet again. And we're going to be doing something a little different. And you probably guessed it from the title of this episode, but we're doing our first movie review, and it's for
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear. This has been in our little Discord group chat since it was announced, I think. Everybody seemed pretty enthusiastic about it. Although I'll be honest, I just wasn't very interested in the idea of it. When I saw the trailer, my interest kind of lowered. More than, peaked. But it came out, I think, 2 weeks ago. So we're actually a week late on this. But everyone in our group chat was so excited about it. And we wanted to talk about it. So we thought we would still do this anyway, since we weren't able to put out an episode last week. We're going to try to avoid spoilers for this, because I'm sure there are people who might not have seen it yet and still want to watch it. But we'll try to get as in-depth about it as we can without spoiling too much. Although, in my opinion, there's not really much to spoil about this movie. Ethan, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you thought about it?
I was thoroughly immersed in this movie. It was very entertaining, and I loved every minute of it. I was fully into this movie the entire time.
Fair enough. I mean, I can see how people could have enjoyed it, but I personally did not like this movie at all. I sat through the whole thing. I don't think I laughed once through the whole movie, actually. I think there was a moment at the beginning where I recognized the actor who jumps out of the plane at the beginning. I believe he was one of the leads in The Americans alongside Kerry Russell. And then I realized Kerry Russell was in it. And I might have chuckled a tiny bit thinking like, they were in that other thing together. But aside from that, I didn't really find this movie very funny. I thought it was over the top at some points, at a lot of points, actually. I think I spent a good chunk of the movie kind of sighing because I was like, there's no way they're going this route. Oh, but then they did. So, my expectations were kind of low to begin with because, I wasn't too interested in watching it, but it was the only thing out aside from Ant-Man, and I'm kind of waiting on that one. But so I went and saw it, and it was kind of on par with what I expected it to be. This was Ray Liotta's last movie. It was the last one that was completed before he died. And yeah, sad to say, even he couldn't save this one for me.
Oh man, I was busting a gut the entire movie. I loved the over-the-topness, but I also my dad is a big B horror movie fan, and he loves, the gore fest, and he would have loved this movie. I wish I would have taken him, but it was definitely one of mine and his kind of movies. It was just, it was really fun, over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's fair. I can see how people like it. My date really enjoyed it. She was laughing the whole time. Kristen, my partner. But I don't know. I couldn't get into it. And maybe it was like a mental thing. Like I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, so maybe that kept me from enjoying it. But usually when my expectations are low, the movie usually turns out pretty all right, or way better than I would have thought. But I don't know. There was just something about this. It literally, to me, it seemed like it was written by a 12-year-old little boy at some points. There were just some things that were so obvious. Like when that little boy yells about the guy being a bad dad, they completely out of nowhere. I was just like, what is this, just to like shoehorn in like some kind of theme? The detective through the whole movie, I don't remember any character's name from this like at all, but the detective, I didn't get it. His whole thing with the little dog. And so when we're introduced to the characters, there's this detective, and this isn't really spoiling anything, but we're introduced to him, and he's like this African American detective, and he kind of just there to give like exposition as to who this character was that was dumping out cocaine at the beginning of the movie. And he kind of, after he's done giving his exposition, he turns to the only other African-American officer there, which is a young woman. And he starts asking her about her dog, because she used to own a dog. And she's like, well, I did. They passed. And he's like, did they like to play fetch? And he's like, yeah, he loved fetch. And he gets into his car to reveal a tiny little Shih Tzu kind of dog sitting in his passenger seat. And I guess the joke is, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, maybe he's getting it for his wife. But the joke was that he needed companionship, and they gave him the wrong kind of dog. Like, he wanted a manlier dog. And then he's kind of stuck with this thing. But throughout the movie, his I don't know what to call it, his affection towards this animal who's not even in the movie anymore. Like, after the only 2 scenes we see this dog in, he's like missing her and stuff. But I don't think there was enough of a setup for that. And it's also like 2023. Do we really need to play like the masculine guy with a tiny dog joke like over and over again? It's just little things like that I was kind of like, man, this literally seems like it was written by like a teenager, and they just happened to make it. Elizabeth Banks directed this, which I did not know until right before I walked into this movie, but I can't remember what else she's done. She did.
The only thing I can immediately think of is the latest Charlie's Angels movie.
Oh, that's right. That one wasn't very good either. But
see, I liked it. Like,
I remember liking that one, but
I liked it.
Thinking that it was
I'm not
not
going to say
good.
it was the best. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's the best Charlie's Angels movie, but when it came out, it was like, do we really need another Charlie's Angels movie? And then it wasn't even advertised that well.
No. Oh no, yeah. And then she did the second Pitch Perfect movie randomly.
Oh yeah.
She has a directing credit on movie 43 as well. But that's pretty much it. Just those things. Although she does have 6 upcoming projects. Hopefully. Oh, one of them is The Invisible Woman. I can't go wrong there.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
But no, I don't know. I just had this feeling that I wasn't going to like it, and I didn't like it. But as someone who didn't like it, I'd love to know what exactly it was that you enjoyed so much about it, Ethan.
I really liked, for one, there was a lot of like storylines that like I didn't expect. Like, all of these characters came out of nowhere with their own story arc, but like the 2 kids were the story arc I liked the most. Just because when you think 80s, because it was set in the 80s, and when you think 80s, you think of, kids.
Yeah, kids on an
mostly,
adventure.
Yeah. And I don't know, I felt all the characters did have unique story, like in a way unique stories, but not too unique. Because it was a cliche movie, and sometimes a cliche movie is like a comfort movie. Like, you knew exactly what was going to happen. Like, you knew what was going to happen, especially from a movie called Cocaine Bear.
Yeah. I guess the movie itself was pretty on the nose for a movie that's titled so on the nose. Yeah, I thought the kids, like, at first I kind of enjoyed that little arc. It was the girl trying to rebel against her mom because she wanted to spend time with her and was seeking attention. And then the little boy who literally just keeps saying that through the whole time. They're like walking through the woods. He's like, you're just looking for attention. That little boy, though, I think was my least favorite part of the movie. He was so annoying with his super fake accent, and then like a lot of his lines didn't even make any sense, or I think they were trying too hard. There's the one line in the trailer where he's like I hope I could forget that, but that seems like something that sticks with a man for a long time, or for the rest of his life, whatever the line was.
That was one of my favorite lines from the movie.
Yeah, from the actual movie.
I love that kid. I loved that kid.
It did make more sense in the movie than it did in the trailer, but I don't know, all of it just felt so shoehorned in, and then the violence itself, I think they repeat 2 kills, not like the same person dying twice, but 2 different people die almost the same way, where they get their like leg ripped off. And for some reason, that's the visual that they give you is a severed leg being tossed. I
wanted to reuse that leg.
Yeah. Oh, it was probably the same fake leg, right?
Yeah.
Everything of it in a budget standard. There was kind of most of the characters in this that don't have their own storyline die. And then surprisingly, most of the characters who do have a storyline survive. When you go to watch the movie, you try to figure out which one it is, because even the ones with storylines, they're not much of a storyline. So it was... I haven't had to ever review a movie for other people before. Usually my reviews are between 1 or 2 other people. And so it's usually a lot of back and forth. But, since our views are so polar opposite, Ethan, I want to implement like a kind of rating system in case we ever do a review again in the future. So because this is a podcast about sequels, instead of giving a thumbs up or thumbs down or stars or anything like that, we're going to rate this on a scale of 1 to 5 sequels. So Ethan, from only getting one sequel to getting a whole plethora of 5 sequels, what would you give this movie?
I think in a rating standpoint, I would give it 5 sequels, even though I wouldn't want any sequels to this movie.
Okay. Yeah. I would give this half a sequel. This movie probably deserved... it did have a couple of, not like post-credit scenes, but there were like scenes during the credits. I think that's the most, this movie. Maybe one extra scene on there.
Yeah.
But with that said, you said you wouldn't want any other sequels. But if you had to come up with a sequel, because again, we are a podcast about sequels, what do you think a sequel to this movie would be?
Well, the only sequel I can really conceive of would be like the National Guard or something coming in to kill the bear. Because at this point, everyone's been like, hey, there's a bear killing a bunch of people jacked up on cocaine. And I would just want one sequel where they have to kill the bear.
Okay. See, my thing with that is, do they actually tell anyone at the end of the movie? Because there are some characters who just kind of leave. They're not even stopped by the police or anything. There's someone in law enforcement who kind of like calls it in, but did they actually witness anything with the bear? Because if you remember, they kind of take off, you know? So, like, do they know about this bear? I guess there was that little bit at the end. I don't know why it was on there, but there was another couple filming, and we get the hint that maybe they're going to get attacked. So, yeah, the National Guard coming in, I could see that. See, my idea for a sequel would be all the other woodland creatures get into the cocaine and then wander into the city. I don't remember what city this was close to, but they wander into suburbia and then just start wreaking havoc. I think the bear dies, but all the deer and rabbits and hawks and everything else you can imagine, the mountain lions, those guys... They're much smaller, but geez, they're going to fuck some shit up.
Yeah. A mountain lion on coke is far scarier, I think, than a bear.
Yeah, especially like, what was it? It was a black bear in this one, right?
Yeah, it was just a black bear.
Yeah, which can be vicious. They're, because my partner Kristen's is a veterinary technician, or at least that's what her degree is in. So she was kind of going on.
That's at least what she tells you.
Yeah, she's going on after. She was like, black bears are opportunistic predators. So if you ever see one, try to avoid it because they'll attack you if they feel like they should. Whereas like a grizzly bear is kind of just territorial, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess black bears can be pretty scary, but what's even scarier than a black bear on cocaine is a little bunny rabbit on cocaine. So...
Monty Python.
Okay, so final thoughts on the movie. Anything if you were going to recommend this to somebody, what would you tell them?
All right, if I were to recommend it to somebody, it's like, if you're in for a fun, gory time, this is the movie to see. All
right, and then my counterpoint to that is, if you can save your money. If you don't want to spend an hour and 20 minutes sitting in a theater watching something that seems like it was written by a toddler, just wait till it's on streaming. It's going to be just as good, honestly. I always vouch for watching movies in the theaters just for the experience. I like personally sitting up close, having to look up at the screen so it feels like I'm in a movie theater with the surround sound and all that. I didn't need that for this one. I could have literally just watched it on Netflix or something. So if you have the patience to wait till it's on streaming, I would just do that. Otherwise, if you just like mindless, violent animal horror flicks, totally go and see it. Yeah. Like I said, my partner really enjoyed it. So go ahead. Another
point I have. I also saw Ant-Man the weekend before, and I liked Cocaine Bear better than Ant-Man.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I have yet to see it. Yeah. So I did a double feature. I watched Cocaine Bear, and then I watched Emily, the biopic about the novelist Emily Bronte.
Oh.
I can't say that I enjoyed Emily significantly more than Cocaine Bear, but it was an easier watch for me anyways. So
yeah.
But all right, man. I mean, that's, there's not much more we can do as far as a review. I don't want to stretch it into an hour, but I mean, there you have it. This movie gets, you gave it five sequels, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this movie gets 5.5 sequels from part 2, the sequel continued podcast. If you guys want to go watch the movie yourself and let us know your thoughts, if you agree with me or if you agree with Ethan, if you don't agree with either of us, if you want to yell at me for being so negative towards this movie, totally do it. I don't know what I'm going to post on socials for this episode. Maybe just a picture that says review, because I'm not as much as I want to be a little more creative with this, it's a little difficult. But yeah, so with that said, we'll leave you with this review. Not sure what next week holds just yet. We're still brainstorming, but I guess you'll find out next week on part 2, the sequel
continued.